Life is a journey that presents you with two choices at every turn. And though the decisions may seem complex, they often boil down to a simple truth: you either choose to move forward or you remain where you are. The reality is that every day you are confronted with two options: growth or stagnation, responsibility or excuses, faith or fear. And what you choose will shape the rest of your life. Choice is the cornerstone of human existence. Every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you lay your head to rest, your life is shaped by the decisions you make. These choices may seem small and insignificant: what to eat for breakfast, how to respond to an email, or whether to go for a walk or stay indoors. But when you understand the broader perspective, you will realize that every decision, no matter how minor it appears, is part of a greater pattern that ultimately determines your destiny. Destiny is not something preordained or fixed. It is not a path that is laid out for you before you are born, immutable and unchangeable. Destiny is a reflection of your choices. The choices you make today will become the circumstances of tomorrow. Your future self is nothing more than the sum total of your present decisions. And in this sense, destiny is dynamic. It evolves as you evolve, as you grow in understanding and awareness of your own power to shape your life. This brings us to a profound realization: the power to determine the course of your life lies within you. Too often we give away this power, believing that external forces, whether it be our upbringing, our environment, or our circumstances, are the primary determinants of our future. But the truth is, while these factors may influence us, they do not control us. You can rise above them, but that requires a conscious choice. You must decide to take control of your life and take responsibility for the direction in which it is headed. Responsibility is crucial. To accept responsibility for your life is to acknowledge that where you are today is the result of the choices you made yesterday, and where you will be tomorrow will depend on the choices you make today. This level of accountability may seem daunting to some, but it is actually empowering. It means that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are not at the mercy of life's whims. Instead, you are the architect of your own destiny, with the power to design a future that aligns with your deepest desires and values. But responsibility is not just about accepting credit for the good things in life. It also means owning up to the less desirable outcomes. It means recognizing when your choices have led you astray, acknowledging mistakes, and then making the decision to change course. This is where many people falter. They resist the idea that they have the power to change their circumstances, preferring instead to shift blame onto external forces. But when you fail to take responsibility, you are effectively giving up your power to change. You are resigning yourself to a future dictated by the same choices that led you to a place of dissatisfaction. In every moment, you are faced with two choices: to grow or to remain stagnant. Growth is not always easy. It requires effort, it demands sacrifice, and it often pushes you out of your comfort zone. But it is through growth that you expand your potential and unlock new possibilities for your future. Choosing to grow means making decisions that align with your long-term vision, even when those decisions are difficult in the short term. On the other hand, stagnation is the result of choosing what is comfortable, what is familiar. It is the result of avoiding difficult choices, of allowing fear to dictate your actions. When you choose stagnation, you are essentially choosing to remain where you are, even if it means settling for less than you are capable of achieving. And over time, the consequences of stagnation compound. What starts as a small choice to remain in your comfort zone can, over time, lead to a life that feels unfulfilled, a life that falls short of its potential. The key to shaping your destiny lies in making deliberate, intentional choices. It means having the awareness to recognize that every decision, no matter how small, is a step in a particular direction. It means understanding that your present choices are creating your future reality. And it means taking full responsibility for those choices, knowing that you hold the power to change your course at any moment. So as you move through life, remember that you always have two choices in front of you. One choice will lead you forward toward growth and fulfillment, while the other will keep you where you are, confined by fear and comfort. The choice is yours to make. And with every decision, you are shaping your destiny, one step at a time. Responsibility is a powerful and transformative concept. At its core, it means acknowledging that you are in control of your own life. Every decision, every action, and every outcome is tied to the choices you make, both consciously and unconsciously. And this realization can be overwhelming at first because it requires us to face the reality that we cannot blame others for our situations. But when fully embraced, responsibility becomes one of the most empowering tools for personal growth and transformation. To take responsibility for your life is to accept that you are not a passive participant in the world. You are not merely reacting to circumstances or waiting for external forces to shape your destiny. Instead, you are an active creator. When you understand this, you gain the ability to shift the course of your life. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to change direction. You can choose to move toward your goals and aspirations by making conscious, intentional decisions that align with the future you desire. This level of responsibility is not about burdening yourself with guilt or regret for past choices. Instead, it's about recognizing that from this moment forward, you have the power to take control of your life. Too often, people fall into the trap of victimhood, where they believe that life is something that happens to them rather than something they shape. They point to external circumstances, whether it be their upbringing, financial situation, relationships, or job, as the reason they are not where they want to be. But the truth is, while those factors may influence your current situation, they do not determine your future. You do. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to change on their own. You no longer expect others to provide solutions or opportunities for you. Instead, you become the driver of your own progress. You set clear goals, take consistent action, and make decisions that bring you closer to your vision. You start to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth, every setback as a lesson, and every obstacle as something that can be overcome. One of the most liberating aspects of responsibility is that it frees you from the need to control everything outside of yourself. The world is unpredictable, and there are many factors that you cannot change. However, you can always control how you respond to those factors. You can control your attitude, your mindset, and your actions. And this is where your true power lies. When you focus on what you can control, your own thoughts, feelings, and behavior, you begin to realize that external circumstances lose their ability to dictate your life. Responsibility also means being accountable for your own growth and development. It's not enough to blame your lack of progress on others or to wait for the right time or the perfect opportunity. If you want to achieve something, you have to take ownership of your journey. This might mean seeking out new knowledge, developing new skills, or stepping out of your comfort zone. It might mean making sacrifices, letting go of bad habits, or changing your environment. But ultimately, it means that you are willing to do what it takes to create the life you want. An important aspect of responsibility is understanding that no one else can do the work for you. Others may offer advice, support, or encouragement, but in the end, it is up to you to take action. You must be willing to put in the effort to make difficult decisions and to stay committed to your path, even when things get tough. Responsibility is about owning your successes and your failures. It's about recognizing that while you cannot always control the outcome, you can always control your effort. Taking responsibility for your life also involves letting go of excuses. Excuses are a way to avoid accountability. They provide temporary comfort by allowing you to shift blame onto external factors. But in the long run, excuses hold you back. They keep you stuck in the same patterns, preventing you from growing and achieving your full potential. When you take full responsibility, you stop making excuses and start finding solutions. You take ownership of your mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with greater clarity and determination. Another critical element of responsibility is how you view failure. Many people fear failure and see it as a reason to give up or to stop trying. But those who take responsibility understand that failure is not an end, it is part of the process. Failure provides valuable feedback. It shows you what doesn't work, and it gives you the opportunity to adjust your approach and try again. When you take responsibility for your failures, you learn to see them as stepping stones to success rather than barriers. You take ownership of the lessons they offer and use those lessons to improve. Responsibility is about empowerment. It's about realizing that while you may not have control over everything, you always have control over yourself. And that is all you need. When you take responsibility for your choices, your actions, and your outcomes, you unlock the power to create the life you desire. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as a creator of your own destiny. With responsibility comes freedom, the freedom to choose, to act, and to grow. And it is through this freedom that you become the person you were always meant to be. Fear and faith are two powerful forces that shape the way we navigate through life. At every moment we are faced with the choice between them, often without realizing the weight of that decision. Fear is a natural response to the unknown, a reaction that keeps us in a state of safety, but it can also become a barrier that limits our potential. On the other hand, faith is a force that allows us to transcend those limitations, enabling us to move forward despite uncertainty. When you understand the relationship between these two forces, you gain the ability to choose a path that leads to growth, fulfillment, and the realization of your true potential. Fear is often rooted in past experiences or in projections of an uncertain future. It whispers that you're not good enough, that the risks are too high, or that failure is inevitable. It's that internal voice that encourages you to stay within your comfort zone, to cling to what you know, even if what you know is far from what you truly desire. Fear operates from a place of self-preservation, convincing you that avoiding risk is the same as avoiding failure. But in reality, avoiding risk is often the quickest path to mediocrity and unfulfilled potential. Fear manifests in many forms. It may appear as hesitation before making a bold decision, anxiety about the opinions of others, or the paralyzing doubt that prevents you from taking action. Left unchecked, fear can become a dominant force in your life, holding you back from pursuing your dreams, trying new things, or even embracing new relationships and opportunities. Fear tells you to play small, to stay safe, to remain in the background. It is the voice of limitation. Faith, however, operates from a very different place. Faith is a belief in something greater than what is seen, a trust in the process, and a confidence in yourself and in life. Faith is not about the absence of fear. It is about moving forward in spite of it. While fear tells you to stop, faith encourages you to take the next step. It tells you that while the future is uncertain, you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Faith is the foundation for growth because it requires you to step into the unknown with the belief that you can succeed, learn, and evolve. When you choose faith over fear, you choose to live from a place of possibility rather than limitation. Faith allows you to see obstacles as opportunities for growth. It shifts your perspective, helping you understand that challenges are not barriers to success, but stepping stones. With faith, you begin to realize that failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the journey toward it. Faith gives you the resilience to face setbacks with a mindset of learning and adaptation rather than defeat. Living by faith means trusting in the potential that exists within you. It means recognizing that you are more than your circumstances and more than the limitations your mind may try to impose on you. Faith tells you that you are capable of achieving more than you currently believe is possible. It pushes you to take risks, to try again after failure, and to keep moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. The choice between fear and faith is one that you make in every decision, no matter how small. Every time you hold back from speaking up in a meeting, every time you avoid applying for a new job, because you think you're not qualified, every time you delay pursuing your dreams, because you're afraid of what others might think you are choosing fear. And each of those decisions reinforces a pattern of staying stuck in the same place, never fully realizing your potential. Conversely, when you choose faith, you make the decision to bet on yourself and your abilities. You decide to move toward your goals, even if the path is not perfectly clear. Choosing faith doesn't mean that fear disappears. It means you don't allow it to dictate your actions. It means you acknowledge the fear, but you take the next step anyway. In doing so, you break free from the limitations that fear imposes and begin to live in alignment with your potential. One of the most profound aspects of choosing faith over fear is the way it changes your relationship with uncertainty. Instead of seeing uncertainty as something to be avoided, you begin to see it as a space of possibility. Uncertainty becomes the place where growth happens, where new opportunities emerge, and where you are given the chance to expand beyond what you thought was possible. Faith gives you the courage to embrace uncertainty with an open heart and mind, knowing that you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way. The choice between fear and faith is a choice between limitation and possibility, between staying where you are and moving toward who you are meant to become. Fear will always be present, but it does not have to control you. Faith offers you the freedom to pursue your dreams, to take risks, and to grow into the best version of yourself. When you choose faith, you are choosing to live a life of purpose, resilience, and boundless potential. And it is in that choice that you begin to truly live. Life presents us with choices every single day, and the choices we make shape the direction of our lives. When we talk about the simplicity of choice between two clear paths, it becomes evident that each choice comes with its own set of consequences. What often gets overlooked is that inaction is also a choice. When you refuse to make a decision, you are still making a choice, and that choice has its own consequences. The power of choice cannot be underestimated. It is the driving force behind growth, success, and personal transformation. Many people go through life unaware of just how much power they hold within their choices. Every action or inaction has an impact. When faced with the decision to act or to remain passive, it's easy to let fear or uncertainty lead us to avoid making a decision altogether. But even choosing not to act is still a choice. It is a decision to stay where you are, to remain stagnant, and to let life happen to you rather than actively shaping it yourself. Consider the moments when you've been faced with a difficult decision. Perhaps it was a career change, a relationship issue, or a financial matter. In those moments, the weight of the decision can feel overwhelming, and the temptation to avoid making a choice altogether can be strong. But here's the truth: not making a choice is itself a choice. By delaying action, you are deciding to let circumstances dictate the outcome, rather than stepping into your power and creating the outcome you desire. Inaction leads to missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and a life shaped by external forces rather than by your own intentional direction. The consequences of inaction can be far-reaching. When you choose not to act, you are essentially giving up control over your own life. You allow other people, external circumstances, or even time itself to make decisions for you. While it may feel safer to avoid the discomfort of decision-making, the long-term impact of inaction is often far more damaging. You may miss out on growth, opportunities, and experiences that could have transformed your life for the better. Inaction is often fueled by fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or fear of making the wrong choice. But what many people don't realize is that not acting out of fear can have consequences just as significant as acting and failing. By choosing inaction, you choose to remain in your current situation with all of its limitations and challenges. You choose to stay within your comfort zone, even if that comfort zone is preventing you from reaching your true potential. Now, think about the other side of the equation: action. When you choose to act, you open the door to possibility. Action creates momentum, and momentum leads to progress. Even when you're uncertain or afraid, taking action moves you closer to your goals. It might not always be the perfect decision, and it might not always lead to immediate success, but every action provides you with valuable feedback and learning. It's through action that you gain clarity, build confidence, and ultimately move toward the life you desire. The key to making powerful choices lies in understanding that every decision carries weight. Whether you are choosing to take a leap of faith, try something new, or pursue a goal, you are exercising your power to shape your own life. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are in control of how you respond to them. And even when the choice is difficult or the outcome uncertain, the act of choosing or stepping into your power sets you apart from those who passively let life happen to them. It's also important to recognize that not every choice needs to be perfect. Too often people get caught up in the idea that there is one right decision, and that if they make the wrong choice, they'll face negative consequences. This mindset can lead to paralysis. where fear of making a mistake prevents you from acting at all. But in reality, life is not about making perfect decisions, it's about making informed, intentional choices and learning from the results. Even if a decision doesn't lead to the desired outcome, it provides you with experience and insight that you can use moving forward. Every choice you make, whether it leads to success or failure, helps you grow and develop. Inaction, on the other hand, deprives you of that growth. When you choose not to act, you deny yourself the opportunity to learn, to improve, and to move closer to your goals. You may avoid temporary discomfort, but you also miss out on the long-term rewards of progress. Taking action, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable, is the only way to move forward. It's the only way to create the life you truly want. At the end of the day, the simplicity of choice boils down to this: you can choose to act, or you can choose to do nothing. Both choices come with their own set of consequences, but only one of them will move you forward. The other will keep you stuck in the same place, allowing life to pass you by. The power lies in your hands. It's up to you to decide whether you will step into your power and make intentional choices, or whether you will let fear and uncertainty lead you to inaction. When you realize that not acting is still a choice, you begin to understand just how much control you have over your own life. And with that understanding comes the freedom to create the future you desire. In life, we are continuously faced with two choices: to act or to remain passive, to embrace faith or succumb to fear, and to shape our lives intentionally or let external forces decide for us. Each choice we make, whether through action or inaction, carries consequences that ripple throughout our lives. When we choose fear, we choose limitation, remaining trapped by our doubts and uncertainties. But when we choose faith, we unlock our potential, embracing growth, possibility, and the courage to move forward despite the unknown. The true power of choice lies in its simplicity. Every moment we have the opportunity to decide our future by either stepping into our power or retreating from it. Inaction, though tempting, is still a decision one that keeps us stagnant, robs us of growth, and allows fear to dominate. On the other hand, when we consciously choose to act, we create momentum, seize opportunities, and actively shape the life we desire. Life is defined by the choices we make. Will you allow fear to dictate your actions, or will you choose faith and embrace the unknown with confidence? Will you passively let life happen to you, or will you make intentional decisions and live purposefully? The choice is yours, and the future you create depends on it. Choose wisely and step boldly into the life you were meant to live.